In the early 2000s, there was this renaissance of scary movies. Scream, Scary Movie 1 and 2 and 3, and everything else like that. There was also, at the same time, there was the influx of Japanese horror movies. The most famous ones, of course, being The Grudge and Ringu, Rangu. I have seen Ringu, review to come, but at the same time, many people saw One Missed Call and were like, what is this about? No one understood, and I didn't think about it. I did not ever consider it. I only just now remember the scary movie spoofs, I guess. A chilling film in the style of The Ring and The Grudge. When a group of teens start receiving a one missed call display on their cell phone screens, they hear terrifying voice messages documenting their very own anguished death throes. Explore the darker, deadlier side of the most personal, convenient, and reliable tool of your everyday existence. Your cell phone, the thing I'm using to record this right now. So, what's going on here? Contextually, what is going on here? I know there was that 2008 American remake. I haven't seen it, or Americanization, whatever. This one deals more with Japanese demons and ghosts. Now, we here in the States, some of us believe in like ghosts, geists, demons, etc. Some of us don't. Some people say it's carbon monoxide poisoning, that allows us to see ghosts. I myself think that there is an afterlife, but then again, I believe in reincarnation. Japanese have it that if a person dies by Asian ghosts have it say, hey, if you die with an unfinished grudge, you will come back and haunt them. You can have your spirit soothed by praying to very altars and shrines that you'll see with a little cabinet and then some candles and a bell and things like that. But what happens when there's a person who sends voicemail saying, hey, this is going to be one missed call? You get this movie. It's based on a book. What was that, a 2002 book or something like that in Japan? And Takashi Miike is, I would consider, amongst the triumvirate of Japanese live action directors, along with the Akira Kurosawa and Ishiro Honda of Godzilla fame and other kaiju / movies like that. In fact, Toho made this, so. Well, what I noticed with this is its visual flair, It's, you got a lot of browns, you got greens and grays for this almost kind of monochrome look to it, to add to this unsettling atmosphere, because it's here that the minimalism in the black of music works. It's meant to, I guess, keep you in suspense and understand that, it's like these spirits that come back and desire revenge, are wanting hey, we died an unnatural death, and we want to kind of have, I guess, atonement for what happened, this has been, and a lot of people didn't know it at the time, so it's hey, it's what's going on? It's hey, we got this woman Yumi who's trying to figure out trying to put the pieces together for everything. She eventually discovers that there was this one, there's this girl over at this, what was it, children's psychic, well, here, what do I have written here? Children's clinic or something children's guidance clinic. There were some kids who died in an awful way, like in a pesticide in the right eye, etc. There's this one daughter who refuses to speak because of child abuse. And we eventually discover that her mother and her older sister kind of did some... Well, the older sister did some absolute horrendous things to her. But it's one of those things where they kind of keep it quiet because, hey, the mother will give the little girl, the younger daughter, jawbreakers in order to keep quiet about the abuse, and it's just, it's just, because it's it doesn't really, because in order to protect the family name in Japan, they will kind of put some of the stuff that goes on behind closed doors remain behind closed doors because of their collectivist society. Let's see. And, it's kind of like the eventual build-up of, like, okay, what's going on? It's like, why is there this photograph where the whole family's together, but then all the children's heads have been, their heads have been torn apart, and I'm like, okay, what exactly is happening here? Yeah, you don't really know. We also see a grandma that hangs herself, bringing shame to the family. We don't know the exact reason why, because as a result of that, the family starts to get shattered. And ultimately, what's going on is, like, up towards the end, the mother, I think, tries to save the younger daughter. Spoilers, saves the younger daughter because she sees that the older daughter is an absolute POS. Nature versus nurture, I guess you could also throw in there as one of the themes. So she takes the younger daughter to the hospital. The older daughter dies from asthma, so there's the sound of an inhaler that is causing our heroine Yumi to feel, I guess, like feeling like this, like, oh my word. Think kind of like Marnie from Alfred Hitchcock. Think like that, I guess. Let's see. There's a hospital scene. Worms cover a cell phone, which is a flip phone. There's also a subplot of a TV show going on where it's all about the exploitation of, supposedly, hey, this woman is set to is set to die at this certain date, and we're decided to we're going to exploit it and disregard everything that's going on, all about the sensationalism and the story that's going on. Oh, we're even going to have this exorcist perform his actions, but eventually when the I don't know the exact name of this ghost or spirit or whatever comes in, it just blows everything away, just destroys the exorcist, destroys the set, and of course the cameras are rolling to try and capture everything just to keep themselves prevalent. So that's one of the main things going on. What is this? There's a isolation, togetherness. Yeah, it's also like, there's like this isolation, like the cell phone. There's also the theme of how we're starting to become very reliant on cell phones. And we look at it, like, even when one of the friend's hands is severed in the beginning, it's still kind of beeping, kind of sending a text or whatever, just to show, like, we've all become too gosh darn addicted to it. And, like, even when our hand is severed and still clutching the object, we're still enticed by it. Yeah. So yeah, so that's some contextual analysis. There's some scenes of like the hospital. It's got some unsettling moments with the sepia tone to add more to the rather kind of grim nature. So it's a lot of stuff going on. How do I feel about it? Well, I think this movie is fine. It's fine. It's well made and everything together, but at the same time, it's like, I felt that maybe they could have had a little bit more of gore. I mean, gore isn't exactly here because Takashi Miike would also made Ichi the Killer, Gozu, and Audition. This movie just feels like it's a whole bunch of ideas that are coming together that work, but needed a little bit more touching up, in my opinion. I think that it needed to be more, I don't know, I guess, context given to some Americans. Like, yeah, it's like we get some of the, like, maybe show a little bit more, I hate to say it, but maybe show a bit more of, like, the older daughter being an absolute, not a great sister at all. And, it's, because it just felt like everything was just so silent. I thought this was going to be like a slow burn, and it's kind of a slow burn, but it feels like it doesn't amount to much. This movie felt like it wanted to feel subdued and restrained, but try and give a lot of scares and stuff like that, and I'm just thinking, okay, I can see that, but at the same time, I want to have more visceralness rather than just all this one take stuff. I'm like, I like one long take when it's used right. You know, I like that. I like it when it's just good stuff, but it just felt like there just wasn't too much, you know? It just felt like, I don't know, I just wanted a little bit more, I guess, of unsettling atmosphere, which you get, but at the same time you don't. I don't know. I feel conflicted about this. It's still a good movie. It's still well made, and, you know, it's like, I could see why some people would be very confused about, like, the spear coming back for Grudge and stuff like that, which I get and I understand, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just think maybe if I saw the American movie, which I probably will see, I'll get some more better context from it. Maybe if I look up the different types of, like, you know, spirits in Japan that hold grudges and things like that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. If I had to give this a rating, because I don't know too much Japanese horror. I mean, yeah, I've seen all the kaijus, but more for like the traditional atmospheric cinematographic sense. Like a 7. A 7 out of 10. It's one of those movies that, you know, you like, you watch, you see, you get where it's coming from, and, you know, obviously it's going to do well in Japan, but here in the States, you know, it's like, it's a different style of filmmaking, it's a different narrative structure, things like that, so, I don't know. I say watch it. I'll probably watch it again now that I know more of what's going on. Ultimately, you know, it's like, it also wants to entice me to watch Ringo and The Grudge. So, if you want to see a good Japanese horror movie, I recommend One Missed Call.